In one of the last vlogs I filmed for the channel, I told you about how I was pausing my freelance career because I was unsure if I'd be able to make it a primary source of income after my wife and I moved 800 miles from New Jersey to Athens, Georgia to start this next chapter of our lives. And after being here about 4 months, I figured it was time for some updates. So if you watched that video, you may remember that I said I took a job at a live events organization. It's the Classic Center, if you're familiar with downtown Athens. It is a convention center slash 1,800 seat theater slash arena once it's finally done being built. But the arena will be able to accommodate anywhere between 5,500 and 8,500 patrons, depending on the type of event. And they'll be open and available for conventions, conferences, sporting events, comedians, concerts, all the things. We've actually got a couple of great acts lined up for 2025. I'm really excited to see how it goes. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point is I started working there because events and live entertainment has always been something that I've been passionate about. And for a period of about 3.5 years of my professional career, I was in managerial positions at small venues in South Jersey, somewhere around the 600 to 800 seat range. And I had a lot of fun doing it, met a lot of cool people, had a lot of great success with it, but ultimately wound up leaving just because of the long hours of managing a venue. So when I found this role at the Classic Center in their marketing department, I thought it was perfect because I could still have that experience of being around live events and live entertainment, but I could work a normal 9-to-5 job and not have to be at every single show, load in to close out, and not have to sacrifice my health and my sleep and all of that stuff just to have a successful event. So that's why I decided to take on the role, and honestly, I've been loving it. Anyway, about 2 weeks into the job, I got to actually utilize my skill set when they were looking for a photo, a high-res photo to use as the backdrop of one of their upcoming press conferences. And they were just planning on using an iPhone, but when I offered to run home, grab my camera, and take a photo of the arena with that, they were more than happy to let me do it. The reason I offered is because they were looking to print a massively large banner, and the Lumix cameras can shoot up to 100 megapixels handheld. So I wasn't gonna let them blow up an iPhone res photo for like a 15-foot banner. So that's why I offered that. But it wound up actually working out really well because I also got a chance to use both my cameras to help them live stream the press conference that they were doing, which was to announce the grand opening concert of the venue, which is the B-52s, which again, if you're familiar with the area, they are from Athens. So it was kind of cool to be able to say that this brand new venue in Athens is going to open with, you know, one of the town's iconic music acts. It was fun to be a part of that press conference. I've never done live streaming before as a service. It honestly intimidates me a little bit, but luckily I was working with their IT guy who has a broadcast background. Between my cameras and his skills with OBS, we were able to produce a pretty quality stream. After that, they were planning the naming rights reveal for the arena, and they wanted to do it in a big way with a community event, invite a bunch of press out, and they wanted to film a video to play at the event that sort of tied right into it, made it seem like the CEO and the owner of the organization who named the arena were walking from the arena in the video right up to the event and doing all that fun stuff. So they had asked me on a Friday afternoon, Andrew, how much equipment did you manage to bring down with you from New Jersey to film this video? And I said, enough. So that was a Friday afternoon. I spent the weekend coming up with some shot lists for them. And Monday morning, they told me that the owners were ready to film on Monday afternoon at 4:30. So I had to rush home, get my camera gear, charge it all up, all that stuff. And the event was the following Tuesday. So lots of stuff going on in a very short period of time. And I'm gonna play that video for you in a second, but what was really cool about the whole experience was the fact that it was shot on a Monday, edited all week long, for a Tuesday live premiere at this event, and everybody who had seen it loved it. It got great feedback and tons of social media shares after it was posted. And they did all this and asked all this of me without having seen any of my previous work, which I didn't learn until later, and that was mind-boggling to me. So I want to play that video for you now because I don't think it got a lot of love when I posted about it in the community tab here on YouTube. So check it out. It's a minute and a half, and I have some more to tell you after the video's over. In the heart of downtown Athens, Georgia, an arena is rising from the ground. A place where legends will perform, where fans unite, and where memories come to life. Tonight, a new chapter begins. Two visionaries, two leaders on a path to create something extraordinary. Beyond these doors lies Athens' newest stage, where champions will rise. But tonight, it's more than just a game. It's about a legacy, a partnership that will drive the future of this iconic thing. In the heart of the arena, decisions are made, plans are set, and history is in the making. Two leaders, one vision, as they stand on the brink of a new era of entertainment. The moment has arrived. Introducing the all-new Athens Ford Arena, proudly partnered with Athens Ford of Winder, where the road meets the roar of the crowd. This is more than just a name. It's a promise, a drive towards greatness. And it all starts here. Welcome to the Athens Ford Arena, powered by entertainment. So that was the video that I shot for the arena. A lot of the drone footage was actually shot by another company, but they graciously let me use it and credit them in the video that was posted to the arena page. But yeah, a lot of the pickup shots of them walking and some of the arena shots of the construction were filmed by me, and I sort of helped generate the whole concept with the marketing team, which was really neat. It was a cool experience, especially since they had no idea what I was capable of, number one, but also just they are not video people. They have some knowledge. They've worked with videographers in the past, but yeah, it was just different, and it was interesting and fun and cool. So the reason I'm telling you all this is because a couple weeks later, something really cool happened where I was called into my supervisor's office, and she basically proposed to me that we find a way to incorporate video more into my day-to-day role. As of right now, video is not a part of what my job descriptions or duties are within the organization. I mainly handle advertising budgets for any show that comes in and out of our theater. But it was really cool to be recognized in that way. She had mentioned that she noticed how passionate I am about it, and she wants me to continue to feel that sense of passion and continue to be able to use my skill set and thrive in the role, and invited me to think about what it looks like to incorporate video into my position. After giving it some thought, I really wanted to propose back to her the potential for me to build a production arm of the venue. I mean, we have on-site AV staff for conferences and things like that, but what we don't have is a content generation arm, somebody who produces the content and curates it, not just for, conferences and events, but also for entertainment clients, internal brand videos, all sorts of things. So I took a few weeks to brainstorm some ideas, and I had initial meetings with them earlier this week. In fact, I had a great chat with Filmed by Hendrix on here, Josh Hendrix, who gave me some great ideas and great input about, the different types of retainer models that I can pitch to them until it becomes an official department. He gave me some great advice on setting rates for myself and expectations for a client. And I even pitched it in the Atlanta filmmakers meetup group that David Moorfield started on Instagram and graciously added me into. And, was pretty much told, treat them like every other client, set expectations. Outside of my working hours, I am a contractor and I need to act as such and treat them as such. So we talked about rates, we talked about product and project ideation, what a 5-year plan, I pitched them a 5-year plan and what that might look like in terms of creating this content department. And they were very receptive to all my ideas. So I figured it would be worthwhile to bring you guys into the experience and what it looks like, share the high points, the low points, bring you along for any of the projects that we work on as we build towards this production department. To that end, I wanted to sort of show you guys what I've been thinking in terms of rates, because that's one of the things that I have to present at my next meeting with them is potential rates and packages and retainer models and things like that. And it's always something that I've been really insecure about, mainly because a lot of people don't talk about money. And because I've only been freelancing for a few years, I'm always sort of embarrassed, so to say, about my rates. But we're here to change all that, because filmed by Hendrix and Lenza Jared and David Moorfield and Tommy Beal, all those guys that are out there putting their numbers out there and showcasing what it is they're charging and the mistakes they made along the way, they've kind of empowered me to do the same thing. And if I can help one person coming up behind me in this industry, then that's what I'm going to do. And that starts with being more transparent about finances and rates. And I'd love to hear input from others. So I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on. So first, I think one of the main things that was beneficial from my conversation with Filmed by Hendrix, again, Josh, he had sort of suggested and mentioned that, gear can be rented out from your house. You never have to leave the house, and that gear will make you money. Alternatively, you can get called to be on a shoot and make money without bringing a camera. So he really invited me to not just have my day rate be all inclusive, but to really separate out a gear package and a person package. So that's what I'm trying to do here. He also suggested taking a look and seeing what your gear is worth as it's listed on Lens Rentals and use that as a basis to charge for your gear packages. And I'm going to be fully transparent here and say that I did that, but I didn't charge any sort of upcharge between the two, because one, these guys are already my full-time employer. I'm already getting a paycheck from them, so I didn't feel right upcharging in any sort of way. But probably for another client, I will. If I were to do freelance outside of this, I would probably tack on some sort of administrative fee or whatever. But I didn't do that here. I just kind of copy pasted. And then for anything that's not listed on Lens Rental, you can take the B&H price and divide that over the course of 30 rentals, and that's what you can charge as a rental to make back the amount of the product within 30 rentals. With things like the V-mount battery and monitor, I've never charged for those things before. Again, I've never charged for gear before, but I did put a little bit of an upcharge on there when I was building out my gear packages, only because with batteries, I feel like they have a larger tendency to potentially break sooner. And with the monitor, I'm not charging for the batteries that it takes to power that. So I'm sort of building that into the rental price of the monitor itself, so that if I need to swap batteries, buy more batteries, buy replacement batteries, whatever, the gear cost can kind of help cover that. Media, I don't have any line items before, and I wanted to ask you guys, do you charge for SD cards? I don't anticipate this job needing me to fill up a ton of SD cards. I could be completely wrong on that, but I just didn't feel right about, like, for every single job charging for like a brand new SD card or CF Express card or anything like that. So I didn't put a line item in there, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think. And then we got, lighting kit, which I, again, put an upcharge on just because I feel like that's more of a standard rate when it comes to like a light per day. And then, the Rode audio kit is the 2 transmitters, the receiver, and the lav mics. So here we have some potential gear packages. This is, one cam, this is a second cam and lens package, and then this is all my gear sort of. So those are your 3 different rates down there. I don't know, for whatever that's worth. And then down here, so when I was freelancing with the agency, I was making $600 a day. And again, that was like sort of all inclusive gear and me being on site. And again, Josh had really invited me to not mirror those rates, but I was at $600 a day for about 2 years and decided that it was time for a change. So I bumped it up to 8. Video editing, I used to be around $30 an hour, but everybody that I talked to liked my edits. So again, I figured it was sort of time for a change. And then pre-production is another line item that I'd really like to start including, because obviously it takes planning to create a good video. So my goal there is to sort of bank on 8 to 10 hours of editing for each project and about 1 to 2 hours of pre-production, and sort of fold those into the packages that I come up with. But I still need to come up with some retainer options, whether it's going to be a bucket of hours every month or a set number of deliverables every month. I'm not 100% sure which way I want to slice it. I may just come up with both models and send it to them and they tell me what they're interested in. But like I said, I really want to be transparent about what this process looks like, get some input from folks who have been in the industry for a long period of time, and just, again, really give you the behind the scenes of what trying to get this production department into existence looks like.